channel. My name is Darian and welcome to another weekly vlog. So it is currently June, is it the 3rd today? It's already June 3rd. It's already June 3rd. I meant to start this on June 1st and time just got away from me, but it is June now, which means it is Pride Month. So happy Pride Month, everyone. I love June. I just love June. So during the month of June, there are 2 readathons that I'm going to be trying to participate in. The first one is Gameathon, which is hosted by Sid from Sid Bookworm. This is a readathon that she started doing in her Patreon last year, and it was like, honestly, I'm not even exaggerating. I don't think I've felt true happiness since Gameathon last year. Essentially, it is a readathon where you mix reading and gaming, hence why it's called Gameathon. But G-A-Y, Gameathon, because it's Pride Month. And so basically you just gotta read queer books and play queer games, and it's just so much fun. Last year we played a lot of Animal Crossing together and it was just so much fun. I just have so much fun with Sid and her patrons, so I'm definitely gonna be participating in that this month, as well as Kayla from Books and Lala. She's doing a readathon called Sell Your Soul a-thon, or Sell Your Soul Readathon. Sell is spelled C-E-L-L because this is based, so we all know Kayla, right? Obviously. And if you watch Kayla regularly, which you probably do, she has been doing this video series lately where she compiled a spreadsheet for all her channel members, where we all put in our 10 favorite books of, or 20 favorite books of all time. And she has used this spreadsheet for different videos. She used it to try to guess our favorite books. She used it to see what different Enneagram types and different zodiac signs have in common. It is very cool. I highly recommend, if you've ever thought about, not me plugging Kayla right now, but if you've ever thought about joining Kayla's channel membership, it is like 1,000 times worth it. She does so much extra stuff there and she feeds us so well, and I'm a girl who loves a spreadsheet, and I much prefer using ones that other people make because I'm not the best at making spreadsheets, but the spreadsheet is like everything to me. So basically this readathon is like kind of however you want to do it by using this spreadsheet. I'm not gonna like link it or anything since it's only available to her channel members and it's like her thing. I feel like that would be unfair if I shared it at all. So you're just gonna have to trust me if ever, based on whatever books I pick from the spreadsheet, you're just gonna have to trust me. But basically the readathon is to read books that you got recommended from the spreadsheet. So either people who have the same zodiac sign as you, or people who have the same Enneagram, or people who have like the same job as you or live in the same country, stuff like that. There's even one prompt that's like a random cell generator. And so it gives you a random cell and you have to read, well, I guess you don't have to, but you read the book that's in that cell. Honestly, that sounds chaotic and I love it, so I might do that. But anyways, so those are the 2 readathons I'm doing this month. Neither of them are very like strict or anything. They're just prompts that I'm going to use to guide my reading this month. I obviously want to read a lot of queer books, but yeah, we'll see where the month takes us. So welcome to the vlog. I guess I should talk about what I'm currently reading. So it's funny because my 2 current reads are not queer. I mean, I'm trying to remember if this has any queer characters in it. So the physical book I'm currently reading is The Will of the Many by James Islington. Now, you may remember I started this book last November when I did the video where Sid chose my TBR. I started reading this, I got about halfway through, and then my hold was due back at the library. But honestly, I wasn't super into this book. And I was kind of glad to have a break from it. I did consider DNFing it, but I was like, everyone loves this book so much that I need to know, like, I need to see this to the end. So then I put another hold on it. It did come back in like a few months ago, but I just wasn't in the mood for it. So I put it back on hold, and then it finally came in and I said, okay, this is gonna be the time. I finally finished this book. So no, it's not queer, but the library kind of controls my reading sometimes. So I'm sure everyone knows what this book is. It's been extremely popular in the past year or so. This is a high fantasy inspired by the Roman Empire. I have no idea how to explain this plot or this magic system. So yeah, you're following Vis, and he's kind of, I don't know if I would say undercover, but he is at this academy trying to find out information for someone else. He's trying to find out what really happened to this man who died under mysterious circumstances. But there's stuff from Vis's past that we don't know. I mean, like, I know more now, but we're trying to figure out who he really is, as the synopsis suggests. So anyways, I did pick this back up a few days ago, and I'm now on page 350, and I surprisingly remembered a decent amount of this. I was worried. I mean, I did start a few chapters before I ended off last time just to refresh my memory, but I surprisingly remember more than I thought I would. And I will say I am definitely enjoying this more than I was in November, and I think that has a lot to do with the beginning of this book was very slow, and I just did not understand anything about the world building. And now that we're at the academy, I'm enjoying it a lot more. I love books set in a school setting, and there's like kind of trials, so I'm definitely enjoying it more than I was. But I really just want to get this done. It's due back on the 8th, and it is the 3rd, so I have like 5 days. I think I can do it. I still have about like 250 pages left, so I want to get this done as soon as I can, because like I said, I don't think it's queer unless there were just random queer characters that I don't remember, but like none of the main characters are queer. So I'm reading that. That is my priority to finish soon. I have also been listening to the second Vera Wong book by Jessie Kusu Tanto. I think the title is Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. I think that's the title. But I've been listening to this for the past like week or two, and I think I actually might finish it tonight because I have about 10% left, and like we're starting to find out everything. This one's crazy. So if you've read Vera Wong, Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, this is the plot of this book is very similar. Like I would say it's almost the same, just with different characters, but the plot of the first book is you're following Vera Wong, well, she pretends she's a lot older than she is, but she's an older Chinese woman, and she's very lonely, and she has this tea shop, and then one morning she comes down into her tea shop, and there's a dead body there. And she calls the police come, she's not satisfied with their investigation, so she takes it upon herself to find out what happened to this person who died. She puts together a list of suspects, and then it kind of turns into like a found family situation with all of the suspects, and it was just like a really sweet story, but also like very heartwarming but heartbreaking, and I just loved it. It was one of my favorite books of last year, so I was really excited about the sequel. I knew the sequel probably wouldn't live up to the first one just because like how do you recreate that magic, and I will say I'm not enjoying it as much as the first one, but I think it's definitely like a very solid sequel to the first one. Like it is very similar plot wise, but it's different enough that I don't feel like bored or that it's too repetitive or anything. But it's very similar in that someone died. They rule it as a suicide. Vera thinks there's more to it than that, and she gets together. I mean, now she's learned her lesson that not to suspect people right away. But she brings together a group of people who all had something to do with the person who died, and she's gonna figure out what's going on. And I will say this book, I think, is darker than the first book. Like, there's one storyline in this book that I started to see where this was going, and I was like, I don't know, it's very dark in my opinion. But yeah, so I don't want to give a trigger warning because that kind of spoils what happened, but definitely if you look up trigger warnings for this book, it would probably be a major one. And if you want to know, you can ask me and I will tell you. But yeah, so I think I will finish this tonight because I'm almost done, and we're finding everything out, and I just want to make sure everybody's gonna be okay. So those are my reading updates. I feel like this was a long intro to this video. I'm sorry, but yes, so it is Tuesday, like I said. It is, what time is it? It's almost 7 o'clock, so I'll probably finish Vera Wong and watch some booktube and hopefully read some of this because I don't want to spend too much of the month reading this. But also the font is so small. Oh my god, now that I have autofocus, can you see how small this font is? Wait, I don't want to spoil anything. Let's go near the beginning. Look how small this font is. It's too much. It's too little, some might say. But yeah, so I'm just gonna have a relaxing evening. I have the day off tomorrow. I do have a doctor's appointment, but whatever. I also am hopefully going to get my new phone this week because I ordered a new phone and they tried to deliver it yesterday and today, but they came at the exact times no one was home. So hopefully they come tomorrow when we are home and I will have my new phone. So I'll show that off to you guys. But yeah, sorry for those yappy intro, but welcome to the vlog and happy Pride Month. Wednesday and I am exhausted. Like I mentioned last night, I had a doctor's appointment today and it just like took me out. I don't know, like it was just a pretty standard checkup today. I did end up getting blood work done, but I didn't know that before I went in, so I wasn't even stressed about that. But I find the doctors very stressful. So as soon as I got home from that, I just like passed out, took a fat nap. And now I'm just still like really tired. So it is 7 o'clock. I haven't read Will of the Many at all today or even last night. I don't think I read at all. But I did end up finishing Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. And I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I had a feeling I wouldn't love it as much as the first book. If you've read the first book, I think you know what to expect with the second book. The plot beats are very similar, but the plot itself is different enough that it doesn't feel too repetitive. And I just love Vera and I love the characters that Jesse Q. Sutanto writes. And like I was saying last night, there is one storyline that is quite dark, but obviously everything ends up okay in the end. I don't think that's a spoiler in a cozy mystery. But yeah, so it definitely like set up the third book, and I'm quite sure I've seen Jesse Q. Sutanto talking about writing the third book, so I will definitely be reading that when that comes out. But that's my first book done in June, and it wasn't queer, and I'm reading The Will of the Many, which also isn't queer. But I do have some very exciting news because my new phone came in today. I don't have a case yet for it. I ordered the cases the same day I ordered this, but the cases aren't here yet. But here she is. I feel like, is that what the girls do? So, can you even see this? This is definitely not the best lighting to be showing this off. But if you can't tell, it is a light purple. It is the iPhone 14 Plus, I think. My phone before was the iPhone XR. So it was pretty old. And so here she is. I'm definitely enjoying the bigger screen and actually having like new emojis. I can also screen record now, and I have like the 0.5 function to take pictures. So very exciting. I definitely needed a new phone. My other one I got in 2020. I actually remember when I got it and I was vlogging about it. So that's how old it is. But very happy with this. And then whenever I get my phone cases, I'll definitely show them. I ordered quite a few because they were having a buy one, get one free sale. So I ordered a few because I needed to get some for every season, okay? So I think I'm good for phone cases for a while. But yeah, here she is. I love her very much and very excited about that. So yeah, so that's really my only update. All I really did today was, well, I got my phone came in the morning, and then I spent pretty much the whole morning like transferring the stuff from my old phone and just like playing with the new phone. And then I went to my doctor's appointment and then I fell asleep. So I think I'm just gonna spend the rest of the evening watching some booktube. I also, you might have seen last night, I was playing some Celeste on my Switch, and I picked that back up again because it is a queer game, and for Gameathon I want to read queer books and also play some queer games. So even though that game frustrates me a lot, it does give you a sense like of accomplishment when you like figure something out. It's like a platforming game and it's very hard. But when you do get it, it feels really good. Okay, Lazo's just gonna keep barking, so I think it's time to end this clip, but I'll come back to you when I have more updates. have a few reading updates. So as you might have seen from my b-roll, I did start Everyone in My No. I keep getting those two titles mixed up. Not Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead. That's the one I started. I started it 2 days ago, I think, on my way to work, and then I listened to a bunch of it yesterday because I was cleaning my room. So I am over halfway through that now, and I mean, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And did I mention, wait. One of the reasons I'm reading it is I'm actually going to see Emily Austen speak in a week. Oh my God, that's a week. I'm so excited. I never get to see authors because they never come near where I live, but she's gonna be in Ottawa, which is like a 2-hour drive away. So I'm gonna go there next weekend and I'm very excited. And this book, Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead, that's the only novel I had left from her that I hadn't read yet. If you don't know, I read We Could Be Rats recently and I adored it. It's my favorite book so far this year. Honestly, I don't know if anything will top it. It's like just one of those books that has a huge piece of my heart. And this book is just so, like, everything she writes just hits me in such a way. I don't know how to explain it, but she has such a way of writing like mental illness and just like being a human and how hard it is. And this book in particular, first of all, I do want to say that I always love her main characters' names. In this book, the main character is Gilda. In Interesting Facts About Space, it's Enid, I think. And in We Could Be Rats, it is, I remember her sister is Margit, I think. Oh, and what's the main character's name? I don't remember, but I just love the names she gives her main characters. But anyways, so in this book, we're following Gilda. Gilda's feeling very lost in life, as are all of Emily Austen's main characters. She is, I think she's 27 and I'm 27. And she is a lesbian and she is just struggling with depression and anxiety, and she's just kind of trying to figure out how to cope, how to live her life while dealing with depression and anxiety. And she ends up getting a job as a receptionist at a church, at a Catholic church. She is not religious in any way. It's like vignettes of day to day, and then sometimes we'll flash back to something from a few years ago. And I just love the way she writes her books. I will say, like, if you haven't read any of her books before, heavy trigger warnings for, like I mentioned, depression and anxiety, for suicidal ideation, in this book, there's alcoholism, and addiction. What else is there? That's all I can think of right now, but definitely before going into any of her books, I would check the trigger warnings, because she does dive pretty deeply into mental illness in her books. But yeah, so I am really loving that. What does it say about me that I love those books? I don't know, but I just love her so much. And I'm so excited to go see her talk. So I am currently listening to that. And then I have been continuing The Will of the Many by James Islington, whatever his name is. So I have been reading a bit. The past few days I haven't read too much of this, but today I sat down and I sat down with the president of Disney Channel and I said, I'm gonna make history. And that's what this is. Anyways, so I kind of decided today I would like to try to finish this book today. Now, is that possible? Maybe not. I just got to part 3. I'm on page 442 and there's a little over 600 pages in this book. I don't want to spoil myself because I've heard a lot of people say that the end of this book is like crazy. There's plot twists, there's big reveals. How am I feeling about this book? I have a complicated relationship with this book because there's times when I'm reading it and I'm like eating it up and I want to know what happens, but if you took this book away from me right now and said you're never allowed to read it again, I'd be like, okay, that's annoying, but whatever. Like, I honestly don't really care about the characters very much. I don't really care about Vis. I'm intrigued enough. Like, there's been so many points in this book where I'm like, do I want to DNF this? And first of all, I have come way too far now to DNF this book. I started it in November. I waited months and months for my hold to come back in the library. And now I'm less than 200 pages from the end. I'm not gonna DNF it. But sometimes I kind of wanted to, because sometimes I'm just a little bored. Sometimes I'm a little confused. I honestly, like, I really don't see why people love this so much. Like, this was, I know, very popular on booktube last year, and I think the year before when it came out. Every person I know who has read it has given it 4 or 5 stars, and I just don't see why. Like, I don't know, it's definitely interesting, the world building. It is a very unique world and magic system, but I don't know if it's done like particularly well. I don't think it's bad by any means. Like, I couldn't write a book like this. But also, like, what's so special about this book is kind of like, I don't know, hopefully no one cancels me for that, but I definitely am interested. And like, I am intrigued enough to not DNF it, and I want to see what happens at the end that has everyone gagging. But yeah, so that's where I'm at now. I'm gonna try to sit and lock in and finish this today. It is, what time is it? It's almost 4, but I am alone for the rest of the day. So I can just spend it reading, and I would just be so happy to finish this and say I've read it and move on with my life, because it's June 7th now, and now I'm reading a queer book, but like, I just don't want to read this anymore. This is not really the Pride Month read I had in mind, and I know that's like my own fault for reading this, but also like, I just needed to get it off my currently reading before my library hold came back. So it's the library's fault, okay? So we're gonna sit, we're gonna lock in, and we're gonna finish this, hopefully today, and then I can move on with my life. So see you later. Okay, so I read a bunch more, but I'm taking a break to have my hyperfixation meal that I've been having a lot lately, which is this tuna poke bowl, and I also get popcorn shrimp. I don't even want to tell you how often I've ordered this lately, but it's just so good. So I'm just taking a break to eat this, and I'm gonna watch some booktube. Right now I'm watching Miss Emmy, and yeah, and then I'll get back to reading. Okay, hi. I'm ending this vlog a little late. It is Monday, so we need to wrap up this vlog so I can start the next week's vlog. But as you saw in that last clip, or 2 clips ago, whatever it was, I did end up finishing The Will of the Many by James Islington. Someone tell me how to pronounce his name. So I finished it. It took me a long time to finish it. Like, the small font in that book really was the bane of my existence. I think I finished it at like 11:30 at night. And obviously, like, I took breaks. I didn't read like 200 pages straight through, but it took me a long time. But I finished it, and that's what matters. So I tried to film my reactions. I thought the ending, so this is what I was expecting. From the way people talked about the ending, I thought it would be like the last 100 pages of the book. There would be like so much happening, reveals happening, plot twists, whatever. Like, I thought it would be the whole like last 100 pages of the book. which is why I was like, I need to finish this today because obviously I'm gonna want to read those last 100 pages in one sitting. But the crazy things only really happened at the very, very end. Like things were still happening in the last 100 pages, don't get me wrong. But it wasn't like everything was fast paced, everything was being revealed, whatever. It was really like the very the last 20 pages of the book. So yes, the end of the book, like the very, very end, the last page, obviously, what the heck? Yeah, there was one thing that is like, I guess revealed that I had a feeling, which like, I think everyone kind of saw that part coming, but there was one thing I was very upset about. Not happy about that. And then, yeah, the very end of the book, you know, unfortunately, I do think I will be reading the second book because I want to see where this goes. And I have a feeling that I might enjoy other books in the series more than this first one, mainly because I just found so much of this book so slow. I loved the academy setting. I loved the like labyrinth trial thing. But the first like 200 pages of this book, which I read back in November, did not get me hooked into the book at all. I am happy I didn't DNF it and that I picked it back up, but I'm honestly just happy it's done. And I am interested to see what happens in the second book. So I gave it 3.5 stars. I felt like that was fair given my general enjoyment of the book. But yeah, 3.5 stars. It's not bad, okay? I didn't dislike it. I just don't really understand the crazy hype around it, but I will be reading the second book. We'll see what happens with that. So yes, those are all my reading updates because I don't think I've read any more of Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead. That's what it's called since we last spoke. But I do have a gaming update because I did end up beating Celeste last night. I know, thank you so much. Please hold the applause. Thank you so much. If you don't know what Celeste is, it's basically a platform game. Essentially, this girl that is trying to reach the summit of this mountain. There's challenges along the way, obviously. I don't want to give too much of it away. And it's like a fairly straightforward story, but I really liked it. It's just so hard. It was so hard. But I beat it last night. I was determined to finish it last night and I did. So very proud of myself. So have I completed any queer books this month? No, but I did complete a queer game. So I think that counts for something. And also I was looking at the prompts for Gameathon, Sid's Readathon last night, and I realized the books that I read, some of them could count for some prompts. So at least that, but next week I'm definitely gonna focus more on reading more queer books. And I did not look at the Sell Your Soul Readathon at all this week. So hopefully I can look at that as well next week. But yeah, I think that's everything I needed to update on. I was gonna end this vlog yesterday, but I was so exhausted because the night before I had stayed up late reading The Will of the Many and then I had to get up early for work. But yeah, so I think that's everything. So I'm gonna end this vlog and then start the next week's vlog right away. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched till the end, what should we leave? Leave the mountain emoji for Celeste, okay? So leave the mountain emoji. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye!